Okay, I'm now going to describe Jason and I's trip climbing Mount Rainier with specific attention to the fall. So we had someone from Josh's church had said, you really shouldn't climb that mountain. You should climb another one like Mount Bachelor or Mount Hood. Those are a little more reasonable. Because if you want to train for Everest and you don't want to leave the lower 48 states, this is the mountain that you climb. This is the one. So we were renting most of our equipment because we didn't have ice axes or crampons or things like that. And we did that almost like you would rent ski equipment at a place before you actually get to the mountain, like a little hut thing on the road. So we did that, and we kind of got everything we thought we needed, and we had a little guidebook. We didn't really have any actual maps, which was a pretty dumb move, actually. We didn't have a GPS, but we get to the place where you have to get a backcountry permit, and you let them know, hey, we plan on climbing Mount Rainier. And when we do that, they check off the things that you should have if you're going to do this. So it's do you have an ice axe? Do you have a tent? Do you have a And a few of the things, prussics in particular, not only did we not have this piece of equipment, but we did not even know that this was a piece of equipment that we could or should or anything. So we kind of acted we decided to forego prussics on this. But then they're okay, then do you have ascenders? If you don't have prussics, you need ascenders, which was another piece of equipment that we didn't really know anything about. So they kind of gave us this look you guys are clowns, and this is not what you should be doing. But they kind of looked at each other and they were I don't care if these people die. So they gave us our permit, and then we were on our way. And for the longest time, it was just hiking uphill, and then eventually hiking up snow. We spent the night in this little stone hut at Camp Muir, it's called, and our plan was to follow a guided group that was these people would pay to get sort of shown how to go up the mountain through this mountaineering agency. So we were going to kind of follow them a fair distance behind because it's $1,000 to pay for it, but we didn't want to do it. So we leave at 12 at night. It's still dark. We put our headlamps on. We start climbing. And maybe for the first 6 hours, it's pretty boring, just really long, hiking up ice and snow and rock. There are a few gaps. They're called crevasses, where it's there would either be a steel ladder that was laid across it, or you could jump across, or there would be a little almost like an ice bridge kind of thing. So at one point we're just walking, and there's a little crack. I kind of noticed it, but there were a lot of these, so it wasn't very worthwhile. And I just sort of kept walking forward, and then all of a sudden Jason, who was maybe 20 feet behind me by a rope length, I just hear this cracking, splitting sound, and him yelling, and he just falls. And what happens is, this is a crevasse that's hidden by a little bit of snow, but there's not enough to hold someone's body weight. So he falls through, and the rope gets really tight, and I feel I kind of moved at the same rate that he fell. So I lunged forward onto my ice axe, so to dig that in the ice, and then put my whole body weight on it, and then kick in my 2 crampons. Those are the really metal spikes that you attach to your boots. So I kicked those in, and his body weight is kind of hanging from me, which isn't actually too bad normally, except we were doing this really dumb thing because the rope kept getting on the ground between us, and then we'd step on it and trip up and stuff. So I had actually looped the rope around my shoulder and then back to him, so it was higher, so it wouldn't drag. So instead of just grabbing from my harness, it was going around my neck, and then he was hitting the ground. So, and there's nothing I can do, because all I'm doing is just holding him up. I ask him if he's okay, and he replies very like I can almost not hear him, but he says he's okay. And I ask him if he thinks he can pull himself up, and he says he's going to try. So he's hanging maybe from like 5 or 10 feet of rope, and there's 5 or 10 feet of rope that's above the ice that's connected to me. And he uses his ice axe and his crampons to sort of hook onto the wall, kick into the wall, pull himself slowly up. And then he actually got out. He was okay. So at this point, we ask ourselves, maybe we shouldn't be doing this. Maybe we should turn around right now and act like this never happened. But at this point, we've come so far, and we kind of felt like we'd made it, so we were going to keep going. So eventually, we got to the top. We got all the way down. There were a few fights along the way, but it was a lot of fun. It was very exciting and beautiful. There actually wasn't a view. It was totally fogged in. But a beautiful internal experience. So, and then we made it okay, except our faces burned off in the sun. We had to take 2 antibiotics, and I almost lost my coaching job. But other than that, great trip.
Okay, where's this again?